Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadisham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam, we welcome all Kailasa-vasis, all joining us and attending from all Kailasa monasteries, gurukuls, temples, ashrams, and centers from around the world. We welcome all the Nityananda TV, Kailasha TV, Hinduism Now TV, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube viewers, and all those blessed to have Nana Diksha two-way video conferencing who are joining us for today's program. We welcome all of you to today's pre-satsang hosting segment. We'll start the pre-satsang hosting with an introduction to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanithanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilization nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities a lifestyle for humanity. Before 1981, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was identified as the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva by spiritual adepts and enlightened masters of Hinduism. By 1981, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was initiated into Bala Sannyasa and performed his first Chaturmasya Vratam at the age of 3. In 1988, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the future Guru Mahasanithanam of Thundai Mandala Adini, the oldest monastic university. On 24th May 1994, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as a successor of Arunachal Surangapith by Guru Parampara. In 1999, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the mission Nityananda Sangha to revive Kailasa internationally. In 1999, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as successor of Kashi Sarvanapita. On 4th November 2002, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded Adi Kailasha Sarangapita. On 1st January 2004, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as a successor of Bhagyanagara Shripura Sarangapita. On 31st December 2004, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the incumbent emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam of Suryavamsa lineage. In 2007, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Adi Pallava Sarangapita. The same year, in 2007, he was declared as the Mahamandaleshwara of Mahanirvani Akhada. On 27th April 2012, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the 293rd Guru Mahasanithanam of Madurai Shamla Pitha Sarvangapita, the oldest Hindu papal state and monastic kingdom. In the year 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was officially coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar, Supreme Spiritual Head of Mahanirvani Akhada, the largest apex monastic order. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was the youngest Mahamandaleshwar during this coronation. In the same year, in 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of the Atal Akhada, the oldest monastic order in Hinduism, by Acharya Mahamandaleshwar Sukadevanandaji, the then incumbent spiritual head. In the year 2014, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Tanjore Adini. The same year, in 2014, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Tiruvarur Adinam, and he was also coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Vedaranyam Adinam, and he was also coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Panchanidikulam Adinam. In the year 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam. The same year, in 2015, he was also coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Adipitha Koladam. In the same year, he was also elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 spiritual leaders or pontiffs. Now, let us look at the global initiatives of Kailasa. 28 years of relentless humanitarian services and initiatives, including free vegetarian food, medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, conflict resolution and peace initiatives, sustainable Hindu practices through various international agencies and bodies. The following pictures in front of us show a small glimpse of the enormous work done by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism through various international agencies and bodies of Kailasa throughout the 28 years of relentless hard work. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored more than 300 books and written more than 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, which have been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. Over 20 million copies, books, and articles have been sold, read, and downloaded. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm-leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as the most prolific and most viewed guru in the digital world. He is read and watched by over 1 billion followers in Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has delivered over 10,000 hours of discourses, which have gathered over 1 billion views on social media. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is respected as commentator of all sacred scriptures such as Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jain Sutras, etc. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is honored as leader of Hinduism, the most awarded internationally recognized Hindu leader. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential living personalities by Watkins, Mind, Body, Spirit magazine. The Sovereign Order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, and Nityananda Order of monks, nuns, and Hindu diaspora are working for global peace and to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of the largest Hindu university in the world with satellite campuses in 150 countries. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of more than 1,000 Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a founder and reviver of over 100 Sarvangapithams. With this, we come to the conclusion of the brief introduction to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We'll be moving on to the next segment.
I'm your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all. all my disciples, I give you this as a boon. I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Now, we'll be moving on to the next segment, World Today with Poverty. We'll be looking at how poverty is affecting the world, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic. About 9% of the world, or 689 million people, live in extreme poverty on less than $1.9 a day. 413 million people will be living in extreme poverty by 2030. That's 30 million more than last year's projection. This increase in the number of poor people is because of the COVID pandemic and situations around it. 1.3 billion people live in multidimensional poverty, of which 32% are under 10 years old, and overall 50% are children. COVID-19 has doubled poverty rate in many parts of the world. COVID-19 could push 500 million people into poverty. The following stats we can see on the right hand of the screen how in various regions of the world poverty is affecting people. People are struggling to cope up with the pandemic. There is a jump in the poverty rate. In 2020, the poverty rate has become 42%, whereas in 2018 it was 21.6%. Average per capita household expenditure of extreme poor people has decreased 45%, and they have been forced to adopt strategies to cope up with pandemic. For example, 48% are resorted to borrowing, 32% are relying on savings. There is a 27% reduction on non-food items, expenditure on non-food items. 27% have changed their dietary patterns involuntarily. 16% have resorted to donations from friends and relatives to survive. Let's just look at some quick facts on global poverty. 689 million people live in extreme poverty, surviving on less than $1.9 a day. Children and youth account for two-thirds of the world's poor, and women represent a majority in most regions. Extreme poverty is increasingly concentrated in sub-Saharan Africa. About 40% of the region's people live on less than $1.9 a day. Extreme poverty rates nearly doubled in Middle East and North Africa between 2015 and 2018, from 3.8% to 7.2%, mostly because of crises in Syria and Yemen. Although countries impacted by fragility, crises, and violence are home to about 10% of world's population, they account for more than 40% of people living in extreme poverty. By 2030, an estimated 67% of world's poor will be living in fragile contexts. About 70% of people older than 15 who live in extreme poverty have no schooling or some basic education. 1.3 billion people in 107 developing countries, which account for 22% of world's population, live in multidimensional poverty. About 84% of the multidimensionally poor live in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia. 644 million children are experiencing multidimensional poverty. More than half a billion people have been pushed into extreme poverty due to healthcare costs. COVID-19 pandemic threatens to reverse years of progress in the fight against global poverty and income inequalities, and it jeopardizes the future of a generation of children. COVID-19 drove an additional 97 million people into extreme poverty in 2020, according to World Bank estimates. More than a year into the pandemic, the World Bank stresses that there is still much we don't know concerning its impact on global poverty in 2022. The impacts of COVID-19, rising global inequality, and soaring food prices are set to send more than a quarter billion more people into poverty this year, according to charity group Oxfam International. The combined hit may result in a total of 860 million people living below the $1.9 a day line by the end of 2022, or 263 million more than the projection before the pandemic. That's equivalent to the entire population of UK, France, Germany, and Spain combined. Now, in January 2022, there are 3.7 million more people in poverty. The monthly child poverty rate increased from 12% in December 2021 to 17% in January 2022, the highest rate since the end of 2020. The 4.9% point increase in poverty represents 3.7 million more children in poverty. In 2015, children in Africa accounted for 25% of global poverty. By 2030, children in Africa will account for 43% of global poverty. Working poverty affects as many as 169 million youth in the world. The number increases to 286 million if the near poor are included. That is, the people who are living below $4 per day. About 152 million young workers live in households that are below the poverty line, which is $1.25 per day. They comprise 24% of all working poor. Globally, large number of young people are out of school and engaged in child labor. About 1/10 of the total child population, that is 168 million children aged between 5 to 17 years, were involved in child labor. In developing countries, an estimated 2/3 of the youth are not fulfilling their economic potential. Poverty is widely believed to cause violence. The relationship between the two can be understood by the cycle of violence. Almost all the 39 countries that have suffered civil wars since the year 2000 have also had one in the previous 3 decades. People in these countries are also more than twice as likely to be malnourished, 3 times as likely to miss school, and twice as likely to die in infancy. The United Nations report reports that countries that suffer large-scale violence lose almost 1% in poverty reduction each year. ठीक. It is often claimed that the crime rate among poor people is rising. But is this poverty really the mother of crime? First and foremost, it is quite apparent that many poor people become criminal because they have nothing to lose. So they don't think about the consequences of their offenses. There are many poor people all over the world who have nothing to eat. The only way to get some food is shoplifting. In addition, the crime rate in poor countries is normally higher. According to UNICEF, 22,000 children die each day due to poverty, more than 3 each second. In the time it took for us to read this paragraph, 3 more children died. With this, we come to the end of this section on global poverty and problems created by poverty, especially after the COVID-19 crisis. Now, we'll be moving on to the next segment where we'll be looking at the solutions for poverty that Kailasa, under the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is working on. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
I'm your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all.
Welcome back. Now we'll be looking at solutions to overcome poverty. Create wealth. Life can be equated to 2 things. 1, ability to achieve what you want in the inner or outer world. 2, just getting stuck in both the worlds. These are the only 2 equations. Everybody wants wealth, but they do not increase the life in them to the level they want it. Wealth can be equated to the inner life energy you express. It is a straight equation because as of now, a normal man has wealth as the first priority in the life. So if you do not have wealth, don't blame anybody. You are not expressing life in you. Life energy is not happening in you. Creating wealth is intrinsic part of life. Krishna says very beautifully in Gita, Gahano karmano gatihi. The universe by its nature works. If you have at least the goal of creating wealth, you will be creative. Your energy will be channeled properly. The first priority in life should be for moksha, enlightenment. Till that happens, the second priority can be creating wealth. Creating wealth makes you non-violent because your whole energy becomes creative. Creating wealth brings tremendous interest in life and non-violence. Wealth is not just an object or a thing to be achieved. Wealth is an extension of you. Anything that adds to you is wealth. The quality of health you enjoy, the state of your relationships, the fulfillment you experience in your career, your mental state, your sense of inner fulfillment. All these are measures of the success with which you have created wealth in your life. Wealth is not even just money or currency. Money is one wealth. Currency is one wealth. The assets are one wealth. Being alive, active is one wealth. All the 4 put together is wealth. Money, currency, assets, being active. Wealth is neither bad nor good. It is a utility. Wealth consciousness means making a clear decision to break out of the myths and mental patterns that impoverish us and draw us again and again into poverty cycle. Now let us understand this spiritual principle. You don't manifest your desire, you manifest your cognition. What you cognize and perceive as reality is what you manifest. Many of us say, I really desire wealth, but deep down you believe wealthy people are arrogant people, bad people. They do a lot of wrong things. If you believe wealthy people are arrogant, bad, wrong, they do many wrong things, they exploit others. If you have that belief, how are you going to manifest wealth in your life? Let us now look at all the beliefs you carry about wealth. Common belief 1. Wealthy people are arrogant, bad people. You carry deep resistance of wealth leading to caste. You will not accumulate wealth. Second, even if you accumulate, you will carry guilt of wealth. Truth is, arrogance does not come by wealth. Arrogant people will be arrogant whether they have wealth or not. Arrogant means behaving as if you are more important than or know more than other people. But we wrongly associate wealth to arrogance. Create a pattern and start hating wealth as well, the same way we hate arrogance. Poverty is good. This is a common belief. Deep inside us, we label poverty as good quality. We feel reverence and respect for poverty. How are we going to generate wealth then? Handling wealth is more responsibility. We may feel uncomfortable. Whatever I want, I will not get it. Maybe you came to this conclusion by looking at some wealthy people who did not have any time for themselves. So we need to look in and understand what are our common beliefs about wealth and how it is stopping us from being wealthy. Anything you cognize, you create a certain energy field about your cognition. You attract situations, people, everything around you to make that cognition into reality. All you need is will persistence. Your decision, you are not going to give up. Your intention is will persistence. It is possible. You may be desiring to have wealth, but you may not be believing, perceiving, and cognizing it as your possibility. The first and foremost important step we need to do, create an energy field of attracting wealth. First step, clean up the incompletions and patterns you carry about wealth and create a right space, a powerful magnetic energy center in you to attract wealth, situations, and people that supports you to create wealth like magnetic energy center for manifesting wealth the way you want. Dig out all the incompletions about money. Keep writing whatever comes to your mind. The moment you remember money, does it bring tremendous pain, suffering, impossibility? All that in you, that is the emotion or energy it invokes in you. The moment you think of money, whatever you feel and think, money is difficult, money is impossible. Unless you cheat, you can't get money. Even if you cheat, somebody will cheat from you. So much goes on inside you about money, your incompletions with money. Just spend a few minutes and let's dig out all the incompletions, belief, mental patterns we have, perceptions, cognitions we have about money. The moment you think of money, whatever you feel and think, money is difficult, money is impossible, money is useless, money is unless you cheat, you can't get money. Even if you cheat, somebody will cheat from you. Just spend few minutes and let's dig out all the incompletions, beliefs, mental patterns we have, perception, beliefs, and cognitions we have about money. Each belief or cognition starts from a particular incident. Identify the incident and about wealth started forming in you. Relive and relieve. Complete those incompletions. Go back to the same age when the incident happened, when the idea, belief, or perception started building in you. Second step is to consciously decide what you want to manifest in next 3 months in the wealth dimension. Write clearly what is your intention. What is it you want to manifest in next 3 months in the field of wealth? Whatever you think as wealth, you may think more than money, currency, a person as a wealth for your life, or situations as well for your life, or for some being active. People feel even extraordinary powers as your wealth. Whatever you consider as your wealth, you want to manifest, attract in the next 3 months, please pen down. So we just had a brief understanding on how to create wealth. A quick reminder about Paramashivoham level 3, starting from 15th August up until September 4th. After 3 years, the most awaited program with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Paramashivoham, is an immersive 21-day awakening event to teach you the science of manifesting the ultimate consciousness in you. This Paramashivoham manifests the deeper experiences of 25 states of consciousness, vertical time zones, power manifestation. Join us for this grand event by registering at kailasa.org/Paramashivam. Moving on to the next segment, we'll be looking at how we'll solve the poverty problem for the entire world, how Kailasa envisions an enlightened civilization. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back with the next segment. Thank you. Now, moving on to the last segment, Kailasa's Ishanya project. Humanity, as a modern society, has already reached a state of technology and infrastructure to provide food, clothing, and medical care for all 8 billion people calling planet Earth home. Unfortunately, our decision makers have not reached the necessary conscious level to make the humanitarian decisions of providing basic needs for all 8 billion people. The survival needs for all 8 billion people doesn't depend on availability of housing and food, but rather on the conscious level of decision makers. It is only consciousness we lack, nothing else. Now let us look at the world today at a glimpse. Food wastage. One side dumps tons of food into waste in oceans and landfills in order to maintain steady prices. On the other side, we see millions die of hunger. Medical equipment wastage. One side dumps functioning medical equipments for new models. The other side, millions die without access to the very basic medical equipments. Cloth wastage. One side dumps millions of tons of barely worn clothes into the ocean. The other side struggles for basic clothing. Home and shelter wastage. One side faces home foreclosures and empty, locked homes. The other side faces homelessness in the millions. Now let us look at food wastage. The paradox between 1/3 food wastage versus food-related poverty of 35 million. Quick facts on food wastage. 1/3 of the food produced in the world for human consumption every year, approximately 1.3 billion tons, gets lost or wasted. Food losses and waste amounts to roughly $680 billion in industrialized countries and $310 billion in developing countries. 155 million people in 55 countries or regions faced a food crisis in 2021. Adding the number has now increased to 265 million due to COVID-19 epidemic. Even if just 1/4 of the food currently lost or wasted globally could be saved, it would be enough to feed 870 million hungry people in the world. 35 million people dying from hunger worldwide. A child dies from hunger every 10 seconds. Poor diets are linked to 20% of all deaths worldwide. Now, let us look at the paradox of medical equipment wastage. 5.25 billion discarded equipment versus no medical care for 100 million people. Let us look at some quick facts. US medical waste will attain $5.25 billion by 2027. Among regulated and unregulated clinical wastage, around 80 to 85% can be reused. Unused supplies in medical facilities are often discarded unnecessarily rather than stored for later use, adding even more unnecessary garbage being carted away to landfills. Reprocessing industry saving 15 million pounds of medical wastage from landfills and reducing costs to hospitals and surgical centers by over 544 million US dollars. The world's poorest countries are paying some of the highest drug prices, with everyday medicines costing up to 30 times more than in rich countries. Half of the world lacks access to essential health services. 100 million still pushed into extreme poverty because of health expenses. Cloth wastage. One side, 59,000 tons waste clothes versus cloth poverty affecting one-eighth of the population. 100 billion garments are produced each year, with 33% going to landfills. Every year, 59,000 tons of used and unsold clothing end up in Chile from all over the world. Every 10 minutes, an estimated 6,000 kilos of clothing and textiles are dumped in landfills. 1 in 8 children without basic clothes. 1 billion children worldwide are multidimensionally poor without access to basic accessories. 22,000 children die each day due to unhygiene around the world. One side, 42 million vacant homes versus 27% homelessness. World has millions of vacant homes. 42 million of its 426 million homes are vacant. Roughly 1 in 10 homes in advanced economies are empty. Japan has topped a list of the nations with the highest percentage of vacant homes, with 13% of its dwelling not lived in. 1.3 million are in Canada. 27% increase in homelessness is likely due to the economic impacts of COVID-19. More than one-third of all people facing homelessness services are women and children. For the last 5 years, core homelessness has been rising year on year worldwide. Homeless people are over 9 times more likely to take their own life than the general population. 78% of homeless people report having a physical health condition, 44% of them having mental health diagnosis, and 41% use drugs and alcohol to cope up with mental health issues. Kailasa's aim, as per the vision of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is to raise the consciousness level in the world and bring to the fore the real issues facing the world, and through a specialized process of recycling and facilitating the movement of good quality unwanted items from the haves to the haves not. This Chaturmasyas, 4 months from July to October 2022 alone, 1 crore people should practice Samadhi to raise their consciousness, and 1 crore people should be pulled out of poverty. This is the vision and mission and the target the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Paramashivam Paramashivam, has set as Kailasa's aim. There are threefold benefits. For donors, it is a great boon to provide to those in need. For the world, recycling removes a lot of hazardous material from nature, adding to a cleaner environment. For those in need, millions of people around the world will be alive and raised out of poverty, hunger, and inadequate health practices due to lack of medical facilities. It is a win-win-win situation. Over the last 27 years, Sri Kailasa has built a network of legal entities in 140 countries around the world, holding charity status in 118 of these countries. In many countries, Sri Kailasa's entities are registered distributors as well, meaning we can manage the entire process end to end. We will make use of this network to collect clothing, medical equipment, and food material from developed nations, transport them, and distribute it to countries and regions in need, with all transportation and distribution expenses sponsored by Sri Kailasa. Our process. First, collection. Collection of clothes, medical equipment, and foodstuff from various countries around the world. Second, quality. Quality control and processing of received good. Third, distribution. Distribution of good quality clothing, medical equipment, and food to the countries in need. With this, we come to the brief revelation, brief summary of the vision of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his mission to raise 1 crore people to practice Samadhi and 1 crore people being pulled out of poverty. Now, we'll be moving on to today's satsang, today's alive satsang. Let us now prepare ourselves. Let us all sit with our head, neck, spine in a straight line. Remember our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in our third eye, and let us chant the Mahavakya and enter into the meditation. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om. नित्यानन्देश्वर सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरि आदिशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्परा. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis, Shrimahans, Mahans, Tanedar Kotari, Sarvangyapeta Yajamans, everyone sitting with us all over the world through Nityananda TV, two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha. Cities sitting with us, long list. So I welcome all of you for this living Shuddhadvaita process, living Sadashivoham process. Today I'll explain alchemical transformation need to happen in our system. Listen. Due to your food, entertained depressive thought currents, cherished incompletions, the first damage you do to you, disturbing the biological clock. Cat, dog, cows and calves in our Goshala, chicken and hen in our Gurukul, birds, everything. See, the moment sun is going to rise, Brahma Muhurta, all of them are up, alive, jumping, running around. Only human beings. Our biological clock is beaten left and right. Instead of going towards the superconscious breakthrough, it is falling down lower than the animal structure. Understand what kind of a biochemistry you enjoy while you are in the body. You will manifest the same kind of a biochemistry for the next Janma. If sleeping is your greatest pleasure, be very clear, next Janma you will only be buffalo. Balasans, few of them. This all-time great sleepers. If you don't transform, get ready to live as buffalo. Because if you are enjoying that, you will only plan for that kind of a body. You'll say, oh, human body is too much responsibility. Morning they are putting me in Gurukul and waking me up, and I have to go for yoga and satsang and puja. And human body is not at all for me. Best is buffalo in a remote forest where I don't need to get up. I may have to get up only for eating. Once I eat, again I can be back to up. What kind of a biochemistry you enjoy means what kind of a chemical combination you cherish in your biology is very important. If all the time you are enjoying only this acidity, eating without hunger or without the need for energy, just acidity. When you cherish incompletions about depression, when you cherish incompletions about various incomplete thought currents like a guilt, violence, the kind of agitation generated in your system, you get a false signal to your brain that it is hunger. Understand? If you just become integrated to your signals and thought current, you will not be obese. Because you will stop getting the false signals that you are hungry. Lot of time, the false signals you are hungry because you are depressed. Because of your depression. You give so much of importance to how you look outside, but you don't care about the false signals going on inside, the wrong biochemistry you are developing, and you are getting comfortable with it. That is what is the worst thing. And you even become very cute about it. I am not obese. My belly is just cute. No, it is not. It is not. Understand, allowing the false signals to pull the strings in your system and you acting based on those false signals is the most dangerous. The biochemistry mess up. The disturbance happen to your biological clock. Repairing that is the first and foremost. When you are not supposed to sleep, you can't wake up. When you are supposed to sleep, you can't fall asleep. Night till 3 o'clock, sleep is not coming. Morning till 11 o'clock, not able to get out of bed. And whole day tired. Tired of what? Tired of taking rest. Tired of taking rest. Understand? Breaking the pattern you built cleaning up the mess you created inside by disconnecting your biological clock from the nature. Understand? The dharma of the body is vibrating with the nature. If you are not able to get up in the morning for yoga, if you are feeling tired whole day, if you are not able to sleep the moment you lie down in your bed in the night time, your biological clock is messed up. And there are two more words which I don't want to tell in the satsang. One starts with yes and another one starts with your biological clock is destroyed. Do something seriously about it. Morning routine is to repair your biological clock, clean yourself and tune yourself to the dharma. Actually, morning when you want to get up and you are not interested in getting up that morning, that war on the bed, war you conduct inside your bed is nothing but the war between you saying no to life and yes to life. Life by its nature says yes to life, and you by your mind saying no to life. No, it's a mess. Understand? How you behave with morning routine, life will behave exactly like that with you. If you are grumbling, grudging, life will do the same thing to you. Understand? Aligning your biological clock to the nature, your biorhythm with the natural rhythm is the most graceful, beautiful, you develop an amazing body which you will enjoy to be in. Body with which you are happy to live in. Body in which you celebrate you. Body in which you celebrate you is beauty. Understand? If you are feeling blessed and enjoying the body you are having, that is beauty. Beauty is not anything else. Tiredness, boredom, including death, all that is just biological clock disturbed. Understand? The source of all tiredness, boredom, disease, death is your biological clock not in tune with the nature. Morning waking up and doing yoga puts your whole biological clock in tune with the nature. You break thousands of stupid patterns you cherished. You break millions of stupid patterns you built. You clean up thousands of abuses you have done to your body. You clean up thousands of mess you have done to your body by the wrong food, wrong thought currents, wrong thinking style. wrong cognitions, your biological clock needs to get healed. Healing needs to happen. When sun rises, your body should automatically become fresh, alive. Only then the right chemistry is happening in your biology. Along with the sun, the activism should increase. When the sun sets, beautifully body should wind itself. And when it is completely dark, body should withdraw to rest in deep sushupti. The color of the night and color of the sushupti is one and the same, not by coincidence or accident, by design. Color of the night and color of the sushupti is one and the same by design, not by coincidence or accident. Because by the time it becomes night, you should withdraw into deep sleep. Dreams are the state invented by human beings when the Kali Yuga started. Before Kali Yuga, in Treta Yuga, there was no dream. Read the whole Puranic scriptures. Till Treta Yuga, never a dream is recorded. It is Kali Yuga, dreams started. Now, the broken dreams have started. Means unconscious and subconscious fighting. Because the layers of the abused biochemistry has become more. You are confused. Even you don't know whether you are awake or asleep. You don't know whether you want to be awake or asleep. You don't know whether you want to be dreaming or deep sleep. And you don't know what you want and you don't know what is happening. Want and the happening not only not happening in tune, and you don't even know both of them. Absolute blind fellows walking in darkness without knowing the goal why they are walking. The right chemistry happening to your body through morning yoga, morning puja, morning kirtan. That right chemistry is the fuel with which you can travel to the next different planes. Understand? Like how you need a fuel for the rocket. You need right chemistry as the fuel for your system. To experience other planes of consciousness. You cannot go to Kailasa with this, oh, I am not able to wake up in the morning. No. That can be fuel for your stupid low consciousness. Lokas, Patala. You can go to Patala with that. Easily I can push you into Patala with your deep tamas and broken biological clock. Kailasa is only for the people whose bio clock is in rhythm, in tune with the cosmic rhythm. With the sunrise, you are awake, up, alive, and withdraw. Morning routine and the chemical changes it brings in you and the healing it does in your system and the biological rhythm it sets in your system, all of them are very important. It's an important fuel for you to experience the multiple dimensions of the universe. Understand? Do not have reasons. I have seen people having this, oh, my lead himself does not come. Okay, your lead is not going to go to Kailash. You also don't want to go, then get lost. Oh, my lead himself does not come. What is there for me? Be very clear. Your lead is not going to go to Kailash. Spiritual routine and integrity to spiritual routine, initiations are completely private, personal between you and me. Understand? Protect yourself from the organizational sins. When I use the word organizational sins, means organization is necessary only to create the vatavarana, ambience for growth and evolving integrity. If somebody in front of your eyes is not following and you think he is pampered, respected, revered in the community, and you follow the same stupidity, that is called organizational sin. Sangha should be inspiring. If it is not inspiring, don't use those companies. Tune your biological clock to the spiritual practices, because the chemistry you enjoy inside matters. That decides what kind of a plane of the universe, dimension of the universe you are going to experience. Kailasa or Patala, Suvarga or Naraka. Morning spiritual routine is the direct path to Kailasa. Direct method to Kailasa. Essence of today's LSP is the spiritual routine. Understand, all the sampradayas of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, I call it Omkara Parivara, means all the sampradayas which accept Om. Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Shakta, Shaiva, Vaishnava, all the sampradayas which accept Omkara, the Omkara Parivar, accept these three things. Understand? Hinduism is an open architecture. That is our strength. Because the future is going to be only for the open architecture religions. The closed thought currents have already reached the expiry date. They are waiting to be buried. They don't have future. It's only the open architecture thought currents are going to be surviving. That is why I say only Sanatana Hindu Dharma has a future. Understand? That is why again and again I am repeating, only Sanatana Hindu Dharma has a future. All these sampradayas of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, all of them agree on these three things. One, Om, sacredness of Om. Second, sacredness of Gomata, cow, and spiritual practice, need for the spiritual practice. Repairing your body, setting your biological clock in tune with the nature, rhythm. Spiritual practice is mandatory. The morning routine is mandatory. Understand? Your values in tune with the cosmic values is dharma. What is dharma? The cosmic rhythm is dharma. Cosmos, the way it functions and vibrates, that is dharma. When cosmos constantly expands, that is artha, wealth. When cosmos celebrates itself, that is kama. The complete freedom, absolute free state of the cosmos is moksha. Understand, when your personal values, beliefs are in tune with the cosmic values, that is dharma. When your ambitions for expansion, wealth, is in tune with the ambitions of the cosmos, that is artha. When your desires for kama is in tune with the cosmic principles of celebration, that is kama. When your cognition, understanding about freedom is in tune with the idea of the cosmic freedom, that is moksha. If your personal values are in tune with the values of the cosmos, it is dharma. Your desire to expand is in tune with the cosmic values of expansion, that is artha. Understand? If you make money by contributing, that is what I call artha. If you have a artha and you make artha, it is artha. Means, if you mean something for society and make wealth out of it, it is artha. In Sanskrit, word artha has two meanings, meaning and wealth. If you have a meaning, if you mean something for society, humanity, and make wealth out of it, that is artha. You have both ways. You can make wealth by creating weapons to kill others, and by healing, and by treating, giving medical care. You can do far life things and anti-life things. Both brings money. I think sometimes anti-life things brings more money. But only if your means is in tune with the cosmic expansion, it is artha. Kama. Cosmos celebrates itself continuously. If your ideas about pleasure, enjoyment is in tune with the cosmos idea of celebration, it is kama. Your ideas about freedom is in tune with the ideas of the freedom as per the cosmos. Many times I have explained. Freedom means, freedom to eat means what? Freedom to eat rich, healthy food. Not because it is promoted and it has a multi-colors. It can trigger your taste buds. That is not freedom to eat. That is, you are a slave. You just eat what is shown. Your concept of freedom and the cosmic concept of freedom, when it is in tune, that is moksha. A person who has this dharmartha kama moksha is Hindu. The definition of Hindu is who is already in tune or striving to be in tune with the cosmos in dharma, artha, kama, moksha. He is Hindu. If you are either already in tune or you are striving to be in tune, then you are a Hindu. Spiritual practice. Our morning spiritual practice, yoga, panchakriya, puja, and kirtan and satsang. It completely tunes your dharma, artha, kama, moksha. It creates certain chemistry in your biology which can be used as a fuel to reach the higher dimensions and higher planes of consciousness, higher planes of the universe. Essence of today's satsang is morning spiritual routine is the fuel to reach Kailasa. That takes you to Kailasa. I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhatvaita Saivam, Sadashivoham, the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you. Be blissful.